I have a friend from Moravia who has a clinic, and his brother had open wounds for 2 years because he was diabetic. He is diabetic. He had venous leg ulcers, and it improved unbelievably by 100%. They just sprayed it in the evening, with that cell activator for 3 minutes, 3 times for 3 minutes, and in the morning it was half, better. And after 2 weeks, he no longer had any wounds at all, not even a trace of them. And he had been struggling with it for 2 years. He kept going around, bandaging it up, because it kept getting wet.
Honestly, I was supposed to have surgery. A week before, I fell ill, but so badly that my tonsil hurt terribly and I had a runny nose. I probably caught it at the doctor's because it was flu season. So I was afraid they'd send me home from the operating theatre again. So I quickly ran to Pika. Pika, please, can you lend me the cell activator? Pika lent it to me and I blew it all weekend. For me. After 2 days, it just stopped. My nose stopped running and my tonsils stopped hurting completely. I was able to go for the operation.
Well, today I styled my hair like this on purpose, just to show you how many new hairs I have thanks to the cell activator. So all of this here is new hair since August. And these little ones here, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? I'm already growing more tiny new hairs. And besides the fact that my hair is growing so much, which I'm really grateful for, because I never had thick hair, it was always rather thin and sparse. They're still thin, but now they're much thicker. So I'm not as grey anymore, because I'm also growing black hair. So I wouldn't trade that cell activator for anything. For example, it really helped my daughter when she was ill. She had a temperature of about 38 degrees. I blew on her and said, "Don't be alarmed if your temperature goes up. It just means it's working." So I blew on her and her temperature did go up. We brought her temperature down. The next day I blew on her again, and on the third day the illness was gone. She had a terrible cough, fever, all of that. So in 3 days, completely without any medication, we cured this illness.
What caught my attention were the papillomas. Actually, I had one here on my neck. I blew on it for 8, 10 minutes, about 10 minutes, and here it is after the second round of the procedure. You can really see that it sort of, gets bigger and then gradually falls off, and mine fell off after 3 days in a row, after the procedure. Then I had another one here, actually on my shoulder. I had one here and this one fell off after the first use, after 10 minutes. But not straight away. I mean, after a few days, it just suddenly disappeared. And on my mum as well. This is the very first one. You can see it really well. This is the second one, the second procedure. It's already starting to swell up. This is already the third, fourth one. It's not exactly one after the other, but that was how it went. Because everyone's body is different and it might take a little longer for each person. It depends on how thick the papilloma is and so on. Well, so it was something that was bothersome. When you spoke, it got in the way on your neck, and that really caught my attention straight away. And you could immediately check for yourself that it really works, you know.
I want to talk about this cell activator, which I used or am using at home for my mum. I removed the papillomas she had around her neck or on her chest successfully. I can't even say millimeter. It was amazing, or a fantastic, fantastic result. And at the moment, I'm using it for blow drying my own hair, and I can already see, I would say, great progress, because my hair doesn't fall out as much anymore, which I'm really, really delighted about.
But my father, since he had prostate issues for many years, started using it on his intimate male parts. And after some time, he went for a checkup at the doctor's. And I came to visit, and he says, "Bob, do you know what happened?" "I'm telling you, Dad, I don't know what happened. I don't have a prostate anymore." I said, "How could that happen after so many years?" And he said, "Well, I don't know, but I was using the cell activator, that device of yours, down there, and now I don't have a prostate." I said, "Well, you see? At least it had some effect. At least it's good for something at home, since Mum doesn't want to use it anymore. So that's what I'd like to say about the cell activator. It also works against prostate issues."
My partner had papillomas in his armpit. He hadn't really treated it until now. So I thought, let's give it a try. He'll see for himself. And the papillomas, actually the small ones, after the whole 5-day therapy, disappeared. They basically turned black, dried up, and fell off. He still has a few remaining, the bigger ones. We're treating those, following the scheme as best we can, 5 days of application, 5 days off, and that one, the bigger one, doesn't fall off completely, but it is getting smaller. That's what I'm trying to keep an eye on. It's shrinking, and I think it will probably disappear soon.
My name is Tefan Kuriak. I'm not a doctor, I'm a teacher with a master's degree, and I spent 15 years working in diplomacy as a commercial counselor. I had a personal experience that led me to take more of an interest in health. In 1996, I had stomach cancer, and it was academician Bolotov, a nuclear physicist and mathematician, who taught me something that I then began to pass on to others. And those people who started using it, well, many of them recovered even from illnesses that medicine claims are incurable. The company Vieda impressed me by focusing on innovative products and devices that, in particular, are specifically designed to produce negative ions. If we want our cells to receive oxygen and nutrients, we need to have healthy blood, and healthy blood is such where the blood cells, the red blood cells, are separated from each other. That means they remain separate, they are not stuck together. People who drink little water have them stuck together, those who drink alcohol have them stuck together, and those who have an insufficient amount of negative ions also have them stuck together. And if we consider the cardiovascular system, it consists of arteries, then thinner arterioles, and then capillaries, and there are far more capillaries, 80%. For blood to reach the capillaries, we need to realize one thing: the red blood cell is actually slightly larger than the capillary. It has to squeeze itself and push through the capillary, and that's when it releases, it drops off the oxygen it carries, which then goes into the intercellular space, from where the cells take it. And if someone has clumped blood, it doesn't reach the capillaries. Such blood only functions at 20% efficiency. And when cold ions start to predominate, the body stops functioning normally as well. So when a negatively charged oxygen ion arrives, the cell attracts it like a magnet and starts producing a lot of energy. When a cell receives 1 molecule of oxygen, negatively charged, and 1 molecule of glucose, it produces 36 molecules of energy in the mitochondria. If you introduce enough negative ions into the blood, the first thing that happens is that the red blood cells separate from each other, so they can easily move into the intercellular space, because when they are separate, they pass easily into the capillaries. The more cells receive oxygen, the more energy they start to produce. When we supply the body with that amount of negative ions, we radically heal the entire organism, because wherever the blood reaches, everything is repaired, everything is built up, and everything works as it should. Where the blood does not reach, everything goes downhill. So I see a huge opportunity here, that we can all have a tool at home with which the whole family can improve their health. The effects are fantastic, and it's all about those negative ions. The cell activator is an absolutely revolutionary thing. Some wound healings are downright miraculous. We have a brilliant tool here to start helping on all levels. Simply by getting a lot of those anions into the body, the blood behaves differently. Blood that functions at 100% consists of separated blood cells, but when it starts to clump together, it only works at 20% as it forms those coin-like stacks. And if it clumps into conglomerates, it functions at just 5 to 10%. Such people are chronically ill, and no matter what medicines or herbs you use, nothing, absolutely nothing, will get through. We simply need to make it work, and this is a fantastic platform. It's a foundation that will help in every way, in all directions. From my experience, even people in the 4th stage of cancer are starting to help themselves because cancer develops where oxygen cannot reach. So when we realize what an amazing thing we have in our hands, it's truly priceless.